Hello again, and in this video I want to talk about physical fitness or conditioning for long distance hiking and backpacking. Now, I found now that in my videos it's kind of great to kind of ramble and rant about my thoughts on the subject, whereas in my blog posts I like to have more detailed, specific information. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to ramble off about my thoughts on the matter, and you can check out my specific exercises and routines that I like to do, and more like specific dietary stuff like nutrition that I prefer to eat, because that's another important component of being, of course, fit, in my blog, which I will post a link to below as usual. But now, on to the kind of just thoughts on the subject, general kind of thoughts on the subject. I was inspired to make this video first way back in April of this year, when somebody contacted me from a forum that I'm a member of, where we were discussing this same subject of staying fit. I posted my routine at the time. Of course, my routine, my workout routine and regimen changes with time to suit my needs. So anyway, I kind of gave what I was doing at the time, and I was contacted by another member. I was sent a message by another member asking for a little more input. And this person was, his name was Jim. I don't remember his username, but anyway, Jim, if you're watching, you know, this one is for you. But anyway, I told him what I did in a little bit more detail. We went back and forth a bit about on the subject. And I thought, you know, it'd be cool to make a video about this, but that was way back in the spring, and I was still not sure if I wanted to do videos in general. But then I kind of had it on the back burner. And just like I think yesterday or the day before, Stick, fellow ultralight backpacker, blogger, vlogger, who I'm a big fan of, I'll put a link to his video below where he talks about how he has gotten into good shape now. He's lost a lot of weight, and now he's doing other things apart from ultralight backpacking. He's going to be doing this Go Ruck challenge, which I'm unfamiliar with, but more power to him. Congrats on losing all that weight, and that's great. That's actually something I've done before in my life. When I was younger, I had a medical problem, which I won't get into. It's a long story, but because of this medical condition that I had when I was younger, I was forced to recover for some time, and as a result, I gained a lot of weight. I was actually up to 225 pounds, and my normal weight, like when I was in high school, when I graduated high school, was around 180 pounds. Then a few years later in college, you know, I put on all this weight because of, through no fault of my own, in fairness, I put on all this weight because of this medical problem that I had. So I had all this weight, and I looked into, you know, how to, you know, get it off effectively and all that. And I did, you know, the old-fashioned way. Just I worked out more. I ate, you know, kind of generally healthier. And when I mean generally healthier, more vegetables, more, you know, lean proteins, and I ate frequently throughout the day rather than gorge myself. So after I lost the weight, I just kind of upped more and more my active lifestyle. Normally, I have a very active lifestyle. I'm always interested in some kind of sport or activity. But anyway, I got back into good shape to the point where a few years after I had gained all that weight, I had not only lost it all, but I was in much better shape. I was about 175 or so, and I was very lean and had put on some, you know, muscle too. I had started boxing, and I did some rugby too before I started boxing to kind of up my cardio to get ready for boxing. But anyway, so the point is this is a subject that I have a lot of experience with, and it's something that I'm very concerned with now, to just stay in shape, not only for you know, long distance hiking and backpacking, because of course when I go backpacking I want it to be easy. I want to be able to hike and enjoy myself, and, you know, do all the wonderful things that are a part of the backpacking experience, but have it be, you know, the struggles, the physical strains be, you know, easier to manage. But of course, staying in shape is just good to do in general for, life in general. I'm also a father, so it's important to me to be in good shape so I can play with my children. I have 2 young children. You have to lift them constantly. So anyway, I told you it would be a rambling video. So anyway, so here is kind of my take on what to do kind of in preparation for long distance hiking if you're not like in shape already. Because the goal is this. My goal is to be in good enough shape to be able to hike with relative ease between 25 and 35 kilometers. Generally on my backpacking trips, I aim for 25 kilometers a day. I'll do sometimes less, sometimes more. My record, my longest hike was 37 kilometers in a day, and then the next day I went ahead and did, I think, 20, in the upper 20s, I think, and the next day was like 25 or 26 kilometers. But anyway, but the point is this, even on my longest hike, which I did somewhat recently, it was this year, it was intense, and yeah, it was, a lot of, sweating and all that. But it was still within the realm of what I would call relatively easy. Like at the end of the day, I still felt pretty good. I made sure to eat, I made sure to rest, and the next day I'm ready to go. And when I came home, yeah, I was a little bit sore, but I could have easily have just continued on a through hike and do this day after day after day. That is the goal, to be able to kind of maintain a level of fitness. Well, that's my goal, that is, to maintain a level of fitness where I could do a through hike at any given time. And again, I'll put the detailed description of my routine on my blog, but for now, what I can tell you about it is this. I actually put a lot of thought and research into it. It didn't just kind of organically happen. Whenever I was in graduate school a few years ago, I was doing martial arts and I had stopped because I didn't have enough time to do graduate school, backpacking, fatherhood, life kind of all added up, and something needed to go. Unfortunately, martial arts was what got cut. But I also wanted to stay in good shape. So what do? Well, as a graduate student, I got a student discount at a gym. And I went to this gym for a year because there was something that's like kind of all the craze lately, and that's kettlebells. And I had not used them before, really. I picked them up and messed around with them in my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, because among the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, kettlebells are very big. So they were at my Jiu-Jitsu class, but I never really, did them regularly. But I thought, okay, what if I, because I have the time to just go and work out. Going and working out is, one thing. Going and training a martial art, 3 times a week or more, that's a whole other thing. But if I were going to go to the gym once or twice a week just to stay in shape, what can I do that is like an all-body type workout, and also, to maintain my level of fitness so I can go backpacking happily and easily? So I put together a mixture of just simple body weight exercises like push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, kind of tried and true effective exercise. And then I threw in the mix kettlebells. And I was skeptical at first, but after checking out different techniques and reading up on it and looking at videos, I found some different kettlebell exercises that work great for me. That gave me more or less full body workout. I won't get into this, the details of kettlebells. I don't even know if I can get into the details of that on my blog. If you're going to get into kettlebells, I think you should be prepared to kind of do some homework on the technique, which exercise, because there's many different exercises, and you're going to have to try it for yourself to see if you can, if it's good for you. Now that being said, I think that that kettlebells are a great way to stay in shape. I highly recommend them to people, and after doing this 1 year of gym membership, and I'm not a fan of going to the gym. This is, for me, I was looking at this as like research so I could come up with a routine I could do at home. And I did just that. After the year was out, I canceled my membership and I bought a couple of kettlebells, which coincidentally, if you're looking to save money, buying a couple kettlebells is much cheaper than paying for a gym membership. In fact, after like a couple months or so, I had already, it'd already been worth it to have the kettlebells rather than the gym membership. But anyway, so I bought a couple of kettlebells. One, it's 28 kilograms, and the other one is 16 kilograms. And that's something that you also have to fine tune. You have to find out which weight is best for you. And those are the weights that I work with. And I have since just work out at home, and I maintain kind of an active lifestyle apart from doing my routine. And again, I'm busy with other things, so I don't have time to do this often. It's going to be once or twice a week that I will do this routine, but on top of that, I do a lot of walking in my neighborhood. I will just take day hikes, of course, and that helps to all together kind of put, into like a big holistic package of keeping me fit for backpacking. Now, of course, there are times when I'm going to slack off from working out. I just came back from, well, not just came back, but recently I had vacation, and as one does on vacation, I gorge myself on delicious food, and yeah, I put on a little bit of extra weight, but this is a fairly like routine cycle for me where it's like, vacation, put on a little weight, then I'll just hit the kettlebells, do maybe a little extra like hikes around my neighborhood, and then, I'll come back up. For me, what helps a lot is that I wear size 34 jeans, and if I feel any kind of pressure, if I feel like, oh, they're a little tight putting them on, then I know like, okay, now I really got to put a little extra, added effort into it. And those are the same size jeans that I've been wearing ever since, I was in high school, apart from that time when I gained all that weight. So yeah, so Christmas time is another time of course, where people will, kind of relax, take it easy, eat more, very rich food, so after Christmas too, I'll kind of hit it a little harder, my exercise, that is. But all in all, I'm very happy with like all, these decisions that I made, because I feel like I'm maintaining this nice, I wouldn't say that I'm in like fantastic shape, don't get me wrong. I would say I'm like, in all right, shape. But one angle I wanted to cover too, to wrap things up, I know it's getting long now, one angle I wanted to cover is that within the backpacking community, the wilderness backpacking community, I know that Ross over at Woodtrekker had discussed this too, about physical conditioning being emphasized as kind of like a explanation for having a very heavy backpack, and that I've seen people comment for, oh, ultralighters, they're just lazy or whatever. And I, of course, that's a generalization. Of course, I would disagree with that. There are plenty of ultralight backpackers that are in very good shape, amazing shape even. That I know that there are a lot of them that run marathons and do like lots of barefoot running and all that, just from paying attention on forums and videos and stuff. But the point is this: I actually think that having a more comfortable load encourages you to hike more, and in the end, I think you will be in better shape and better physical condition than if you were to just have a super heavy load, hike a short distance, and make camp, and that's it. And here's why. Bear with me here. Let's say that you have a very, very heavy backpack. You're going to burn out quicker. This is just, theoretically, I'm not saying everybody who has a heavy backpack's like this, but, if you have a very, very heavy backpack, odds are that you're going to burn out quicker than you would than if you had a light backpack. Let's say if you have a 20 kilogram backpack as opposed to like a 5 kilogram backpack at total weight of your backpack, you're going to be able to go further and do more with the 5 kilogram backpack than you would with the 20. Unless you're like a superstar, you're a super athlete, you are, but I mean, very few people, we're talking about, very few people that can do the same amount of hiking with the same amount of, load or whatever. Backpacking itself is in the upper tier, like wilderness backpacking, that is when you're going, out through rough terrain, going up and down hills and maybe even mountains, and you have this backpack and you have weight. Even if it's very lightweight, it's still going to be work. So the point is this, is that if you want to get into good shape and you want to do backpacking, you know, it's not necessarily the case that if you take heavy things, you're going to be in better shape because you're going to be doing more work. It might be that you'll just burn out and not do as much work as you would if you had a lighter load. So take that into consideration as well. But anyway, so that's enough rambling for now. Again, check out my blog. I will do more specific type information there. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.